Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're out the long range with kind of an eclectic mix of rifles. The first rifle I brought out is something that really has my interest right now, which is the MR762A1 LRP. I wanted to stretch its legs out past 100 yards. Hopefully we'll get a chance to shoot it out to 1,000 yards today. I did bring out a bunch of different ammunition for it. Brought out some Federal Gold Medal, 168 grainers, 175 grainers, and Black Hills as well with some 168s and 175. So hopefully we'll find a load that it really likes. Another rifle we brought out is my buddy Jason's rifle. This is a SIG 5.56 DMR. It is 5.56 caliber, has a nice heavy barrel on it, and a super nice trigger. We're going to see how this thing groups today. Should be a fun rifle to shoot. I've never shot one of these before. And then finally, I brought out one of my favorites, the M1 Garand. This is kind of one of those guns you take out to the range and shoot just to put a smile on your face. I'll do more videos on this rifle here in the future. Going to do some World War II rifles together, like the SVT-40, the M1 Garand, and some other stuff that I want to show you guys. But just brought this one out to kind of have a good time with it. Just kind of a relaxing afternoon to be able to shoot this rifle. So anyway, it should be an interesting range day video for you guys. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So let's do that. The M1 Garand's unique in that it shoots from these in-block clips. Now this is one of the few times you can actually say that your rifle's fed from a clip. This is not a magazine. The spring is actually in the receiver here, and the in-block doesn't have a spring in it, so you just kind of put it in there. You have to be kind of careful. There's this thing called M1 Garand thumb. That means when you start to push these rounds down, that bolt can slam home and take your thumb with it. So I'm holding the bolt to the rear, and then you just kind of help that first round in the chamber, and it's ready to go. Just going to see if it's on at 100 yards here really quick. Shooting at steel. Holy cow. It's definitely on. Mangles that little steel plate. Yeah, doing good. I'm going to take it out to 200. Couldn't tell where that hit. There we go. And that's how you know your Garand's empty. Throws that little guy out. I confirmed my zero with 168 grain Black Hills match ammo at 100 yards, then I moved over to the 500 and 600 yard steel ringers. The rifle definitely seems to be consistent in its performance with both Black Hills 168 grain loads and Federal Gold Medal match 168 grain loads, both shot to the same point of aim. Down at 100 yards after firing the first group today with the 168 grain Match Kings Black Hills ammunition out of the MR762A1 LRP. Again, first group of the day, and it's measuring about 1 inch and an eighth. So it's 1 MOA. Yeah, it's definitely not as good as the half-inch group I fired with the first group. I fired with the gun the first time I had it out, but you know, we're just right at an inch. I'm gonna try some different ammo. I brought some 175 grain SMKs out, both Black Hills and Federal Gold Medal 175 grain. We're gonna see how it likes those 175 grain loads. But so far, it's about on par with what I was seeing in accuracy-wise on my first range trip. See it?
Yep, 12 o'clock.
This is an end-block clip. It's just a piece of sheet metal. And to load it, you take your round, set it in there, push it all the way back. You'll feel the rim click over a little detent. You got to make sure it's seated all the way. Otherwise, the gun won't load the end-block clip properly. Just put them in, stagger them, hold a finger in there to hold the rounds in place until you get 8 rounds total. Like that. Push that last one in. And that is a completed end-block clip. The Garand is just an absolute pleasure to shoot. You can see this is my original H&R. Now this is a CMP stock, it's a replacement stock. This is the original finish on the gun. It has all original components, original barrel, but the CMP stock replaced the broken stock that it originally had. You can see the CMP stamped there. The original stock had a slight crack in the wrist, so put a new CMP stock on it. But it's a beautiful rifle. I don't know if you guys can see the markings on it or not. But yeah, great sights. Has just a standard military blade on the front. But yeah, it's a gorgeous rifle to shoot. Surprisingly mild to shoot with a 30-06. Not a whole lot of recoil. Shoulder's really nice. Now I have kind of big hands and a long neck and a big old head. So when I shoot the thing, I'll find that if I put my thumb up like this and hold too loose, when it recoils, I'll whack myself in the nose with my own thumb. So I move my thumb around when I shoot it, trying to find a comfortable spot, because I don't like to get a really tight grip on the gun. I like to let it kind of relax my hold and kind of loosen my shoulder, so it does push back quite a bit. But the recoil impulse is not harsh whatsoever. It's just really a pussycat to shoot. We've been shooting it out 500, 600 yards and scoring hits with it. Now the front blade, as you can see, is not the most precise instrument. See if I can get it to focus here. Probably not. It's kind of a broad blade anyway. So that 600-yard ringer is dinky, absolutely dinky. Even at 500 yards, you can just barely see the target. But at 500, we're scoring really solid hits with it. 600, a few hits. Wasn't as consistent there. Shooting just standard military ball. It's reloaded from U.S. military ball components. Not exactly match ammo, but still this old girl, delivers the goods out to 500-600 yards. So really beautiful gun. If you guys ever get a chance to pick up a Garand, I would recommend picking one up. Now, they've gone up in price. They're becoming more scarce, but you can still get them through the CMP. Sometimes, like we have a Garand collector here in our town, and I saw this at a gun show, and that's where I picked it up from. And he made sure that everything was absolutely perfect on it in terms of the timing and things like that. So it's a really sweet shooting rifle, but if you don't have one in your collection, you really should pick one up. It's probably one of the funnest guns to shoot, even though 30-06 ammunition is getting quite expensive. Very nice. Yeah, that definitely seems to have done a nicer group. Let's see if I can figure out what I got there. Hey, you know what? Still about an inch. So seems like the 69s and the 77s are doing about the same. I will say I like that trigger quite a bit. Just one more group. Looks like we get that occasional flyer. Yeah, just over an inch. Here are the groups at 100 yards with the SIG DMR, and these are with the 69 grain Black Hills. First one, this is the first shot on the first group I fired, which was just under 2 inches, but with the other 4, 1 inch. And then over here is another group I fired, which is about 1.5 inches for this one, and then the last group I fired, and it's 2 inches or so. So it looks like with that particular ammo anyway, MOA a little over MOA if I'm doing good. I can't explain that flyer. This group is probably the best group I've shot with it so far, and yeah, just right at an inch. So probably have to find the right ammo for it. Trigger's spot on, great trigger, 0 recoil, a very, very, very easy gun to shoot. It's actually pleasant to shoot. You can spot your own shots through the scope. There's like 22 long rifle recoil. All right, guys, we're wrapping things up out here at the range today. Of course, it was a real pleasure shooting the MR762A1 LRP this afternoon. We did get some hits on steel out at 1,000 yards. The scope ran out of adjustment. I don't believe this is a 20 MOA base, so we didn't have enough elevation. I had to dial all the elevation I had into the scope, and then I had to use a couple of mil holdover just to get it on steel at 1,000. But we got it there. It was scoring solid hits at 500 yards. It was a very pleasant shooting rifle, and we tried it now with 175 grain SMKs, the federal gold medal stuff. And the gun's consistently doing 1 MOA, so it's about a 1 MOA gun, at least in my hands. Very pleased with it so far. We'll roll all this information into the final review of the rifle. Also, it was fun out here shooting the Garand. That was the first time I shot at any range at all, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, we were scoring hits on steel, it's 24-inch steel ringers out to 600 yards. And that front sight post isn't exactly what I would call precise, but that old girl still performed. And it was fun also shooting Jason's SIG 5.56 DMR rifle. It was the first time I ever shot a rifle like that. 100% function, shot really nice. Again, about a 1 MOA gun with all the ammunition we tried. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in the video, you can ask those questions on our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/militaryarms. I also invite you to come by and check out Copper Custom, our online store. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon.